In this video, I want to just review how to scan something, scan a string, and then convert it into an integer or a double. So the first thing that I'm just gonna show you everything. So the first thing that I need to do is import the scanner class, and then so what I can do here then is I'll print out to the screen system. I'm going to take some input, so I'm just going to say type in an integer, and then I'll do some math with it, and I'll show you that you can't do math with the string. So let's see what happens. So system.out.println, and then what do I'm just going to say type an integer, and then let's see. So we'll have that, and it'll just wait. It'll just wait right here. And then, hold on, someone's asking for me. Hold on. Okay, so type in integer, and then, so that'll print out to the screen. And then I'll accept an integer. So I'll create a scanner class, and I'm going to call it input. We can actually reuse this stuff, but I'll say scanner input. And then new scanner system.in, and then I'll save that input somewhere. So I'll create a string. It's going to be a string. This is what the user is going to input, and we'll say number, and that is input dot next line. So it's going to wait for the user to put something in, and it'll store it into number. So let's see what happens. System.out.println. I'm going to use this to print line. I'm going to use this to say the number you typed was, and I'm going to add in number, and then I think what I want to do is also do, I'll enter 10, and I'll say like number. Remember that this is a string, so if I say number gets number divided by 2, I should have a problem with this. I think what will happen is I'll get a compile error. So if I do this, yeah, this is a string, so you can't do math on it. So I'll get rid of this and compile it right now. It should be fine. Let's run this. So type in integer 10. The number you typed was 10. Great. Okay, so inside here, if I want to change it and actually be able to do math on it, what can I do? I can convert this number into an actual integer. And the way I do that is by using parse integer from the PowerPoint. So what I have to do is I have to create a variable that is actually an integer. So I'll say int num. This might get kind of confusing. I would change this actually, but int num, and num gets, well, I will say integer with a capital I, integer dot parse int. And then inside here, I'll put in the string that I want to convert to an integer. So the string that I'm trying to convert is number. And then I'm going to try and do math on it. So num, and I'll use one of the divide gets 2. So that should take my number, divide it by 2, and then put it back in the num variable. So let's compile this, see if it works out. So yeah, no syntax errors. And then let's actually print it out. System.out.println, and I'm going to print your number divided by 2 is, and then I'll add in num. So num is whatever num, like the string got converted to an integer, and then it was divided by 2 and put back in there. So if I type in 10, it should print out 5 here to the screen. So let's see, compile, close, type in an integer. The number you typed was 10. Your number divided by 2 is 5. So that works out. Also, well, I'll show you that in a minute. Hopefully that helps. What happens if I put in an odd integer? Since this is only an integer, it'll truncate the decimal. So if I put in 11, it should still give me 5 if I divide it by 2, because it should be 5.5, but it'll get rid of that. So let's try that actually. Let's see that in action. So we have, if I type in 11, your number divided by 2 is 5 still. Now if I wanted it to actually give me the decimals, I could change, 12. So also something, clear screen at method call. That means every time you run it, it clears a screen. That might be something that you want to do for your stuff, because you don't have to keep pushing clear. I just realized that was an option there. All right, so let's allow this to show decimals. So instead of making this an integer, I'm going to make it a double, and now I have to change this. So this will be double dot parse double, and then so it'll take number and change it into a double, and then when I divide it by 2, I think everything else should be fine. So now it'll give me 0.5. So let's try that. So we'll type in an odd number, 13. What is that? That would be 6.5. And there we go, 6.5. So yeah, that's it for this one. That's just converting a string to an integer or a string to a double, just to remind you.